5. Somebody liked it already? That's pretty awesome. Thank you. Today we're making cookies. Alkaline cookies, vegan cookies. These are the ingredients we're going to be using. And we're going to get into it. If you're tuning in late or tuning in the replay, you can ask questions in the comments. I will be answering some of your questions while we wait for the dough to set. But let me know what you think in the comments, and let's start. Let's get started. So this is 2 cups of spelt flour. Just sifting it. It's not a very good shot. Sifting the spelt flour. I might edit this later, and after we finish, of course, into a shorter version. Let me know in the comments if you want to see that or not. We also did a live brownie video the other day, which was quite a marathon. If you were on that one, welcome back. That was quite fun, actually. All right, date sugar. One half of a cup.
It's just half.
Yeah, I said half.
You said 1/2.
Yeah, 1/2.
Oh.
Well, you just missed that on video. Blocking every shot. Someone just asked, what is agar? Is it alkaline? And then the comment disappeared. I will definitely answer that question. Let me grab my iPad so I can check the comments. And if you do have questions during this, feel free to type in the comments and I will answer it as soon as I see it or as soon as I can. Now we're going to add avocado oil, 1 cup. You could use grapeseed oil if you don't have avocado oil. did you just do?
For salt.
A half a teaspoon. Agave nectar. Someone just asked what's better, agave or agave nectar. It's the same thing. I'm just calling it agave and not saying nectar. But agave is the name of the plant, and the syrup or nectar is the nectar of the plant. It's a giant plant, and it's very sweet, sweeter than sugar. But not toxic like sugar. 1/4 of a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And if you missed it, this was 1 cup avocado oil. And whoever hit the like button, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And I couldn't see your first question about agar, but yes, I eat it. It's alkaline. It's from seaweed. It's basically the seaweed extract. It's very similar to sea moss powder in the way that it gels up, but sea moss can be salty and a little bit disgusting sometimes, depending on where it came from. So agar is tasteless, but we're not using it in this recipe.
Okay, let's chill it first.
Okay, that's it for now. We're going to chill this, and I can answer some of your questions if you have any. And it's going to chill for a few minutes in the fridge, and then we're going to bring it back out and form the cookies out of it. And then they're actually going to be, they're going to have jam in them, which is right here. So they're going to be awesome. They're going to be like a little thumbprint cookie. Oh shit. Hello, welcome to upward angle at my lion's mane. So I'm gonna come over here while we're waiting, and I forgot my tripod. So let me see if I can get some of your questions. Well, my hair's all over the place, but I've accepted it and moved on. Okay, so you asked what's agar? Do you use it? Oh, I've got a feedback loop. Okay. What's good for brushing teeth? Did you ask me this before? You can use sea salt to brush your teeth. You could use baking soda. That's a man-made chemical, but it's better than whatever most people are using. You could use peroxide. That's also man-made. Sea salt is natural, and there are some powders you can use to brush your teeth with. And are you the one that asked this the other day? The questions I was expecting when the replay of the live was posted, I'm expecting the comments to keep coming in, but the live comments didn't appear in the replay of the video for some reason. So, oh, I have to get a good shot of the fireplace. So, if you do ask questions, if it's really important, I need to write it down, or you need to contact me on Facebook. And it's really blown out right now. There we go. Okay, so I could look that up, what to use on your teeth. Are you having a specific problem, or you just want something to brush your teeth with? I need to grab my tripod because this is annoying to... It's live. It's live, folks. Get to see every little thing because I can't cut back and forth in between shots like I do in the other videos. Just gotta set this up here. Okay, so you said the name came up, but I'm Carrie who's asking the question. Hello, Carrie. Looking for something different for your teeth. What were you using before? Have you tried sea salt or baking soda? Just curious. If I had my computer in front of me, I could try looking it up because I have a lot of stuff saved. You know, I don't trust Google at all, and for questions like this that most people don't know the answer to, Google usually is not a solution, but through my research, I have found something and I saved it somewhere. So, okay, so you use toothpaste right now. Just, I quit using toothpaste about, that sounds so weird, but I quit using toothpaste 8-9 years ago. So now everyone is looking at my mouth trying to, do I still have teeth? My teeth are not that bright. I drink a lot of sarsaparilla tea, which turns the tea ball, like the metal tea ball, the sarsaparilla turned it completely like red, like rust iron color. But it's healthy, so it's worth it. I don't have a way to look up that tooth powder for you at the moment. You can reach out to me on Facebook to remind me about that. You can look up the Alkaline Life Coach on Facebook, or you can look in the description of this channel. There's a Facebook group you can join if you didn't already. If you already did, send me a message on there or post a question in the group, even better. That way everyone can see the answer. So yeah, if I will post an answer to this in my group later, so that way if you're tuning in and you want to know what I end up finding out later, just join the group. It's a free group on Facebook that I have just to share more info. I had it really before I was doing the lives on YouTube. So yeah, let me know then. And we're just waiting, if you're just now tuning in, we're waiting for the cookie dough to set, and then we're gonna make the cookies. So we didn't finish making them yet. There's still a lot to do. I'm just taking your questions while we wait, because they're chilling in the fridge. My pleasure. Carrie said thank you. I'm curious why your name is Felicia and your real name is Carrie. I don't mind either way. Both are good names. It's just a YouTube name. It doesn't have to be real. And anyone else tuning in with questions, feel free to ask. Just gonna chill here while we wait for the cookies. I might have a giveaway also. If you're watching this in the replay, you can join as well. I have some stuff I should show you on the camera, though I'm not prepared. Next time I'll show, I have some detox herbs that I think I could give away. I just want to make sure I have see how many I have, to see how many people I could give it to. And something else is being cooked, so I might go film it too. Otherwise, what do we, if no one has any questions, what do we film until the cookies are ready? Comment below if you want me to edit this into a condensed version when we're finished. Obviously this is live, so it can't edit anything, but later I can shorten it maybe into a 5 or 10 minute video. If you want, let me know in the comments. And let me know your questions too. We're just waiting for the cookies to set in the fridge. So we're doing an impromptu Q&A. And there have been a lot of great questions. In the future, maybe I can write a book just on the Q&A questions, based on your questions. I am actually writing a book right now. It's not about food necessarily. There is some, I might include a little bit about food in there. It's not like a cookbook or a diet book or anything like that, though. It's, well, let me know if you want to know what it's about. I won't bore you if you don't care. But that's one thing I could talk about while we wait for the cookies. And also we could go see what's cooking in the kitchen. Let me take this off the tripod. To come in here and film. Ooh. Oyster mushroom. Buttercup squash. So this is what's cooking while we're waiting for the cookies the dough to set in the refrigerator. And let me know if you have any questions while we wait. It should be a few more minutes, and then we're gonna we're gonna form them into cookies, and we're going to put some jam, and we're gonna see how they go. So until then, we're gonna chill by the fire, and I'll answer your questions if you have any. Oh, I found a good spot right here. This is my zone, my Q&A zone. So if you're tuning in live, feel free to ask questions. There's a lot going on right now. I have a few announcements to make, but I don't know if this is the right time. Comment if you want me to tell you about my book, and comment if you, I'm not trying to sell it to you, it's not even done yet. But if you're curious about it, or the other stuff I'm working on, I've got a lot going on these days actually, because what else is there to do? I try to do the most important thing possible each day, or with my life. I don't like to waste time. So right now we're multitasking. While we're baking the cookies, we're also doing a Q&A. And I needed to make a video today as well. I have a list of different video topics that I can make. I'm planning some for the Christmas as well. A lot of people ask me to make some certain Mexican foods, and I'm gonna check that out. I've been researching already, actually. Someone mentioned, I think in the last live, that I could try making tamales, and I looked it up and I actually watched some history of tamales and how it's one of those really old cultural foods that, interesting note, the original corn, it's not corn though, the original predecessor to corn is not starchy, and it's a grain that you can that's actually healthy. So the ancient corn, not whatever people eat now. So I know that it does still exist. I've heard that there are farmers still protecting that crop, that plant in Mexico or somewhere in Central America. I'm pretty sure Mexico. But that's really interesting. And if you know what the name of that is, let me know, because I think there are some Spanish speakers that are tuning in here that might be, I don't know if you're, any of you are from Mexico or just have family there, or just, I don't know what. You'll have to let me know in the comments, but I'm curious about it. Tamales seem like a good thing because if it's ancient, then, and it's pre-Spanish influence. So if it's pre-Spanish, then it's likely to be healthy because they're the ones that brought the artificial cows, grain-fed cattle and everything like that, which is mutant. It's not real, and anything like that did not exist in Mexico pre-Spanish. And what's great about a country that's old are that they have the information that America doesn't have. And America is a great place, but it's new, and a lot of the information is false. So, Organic Life, nice to see you tuning in. Facts. Thank you, absolutely. Thanks for backing me up. Not everyone knows about this. So, you said it's maize. The Indians used maize. Okay, so maize. Yeah, I've heard of that, of course. But yeah, the thing is that I was taught in fake school that maize is another word for another name for corn. Wrong. Is that like calling spelt wheat? Because I'm not doing that either. To me, it's totally different. My body shows the difference. Okay, so someone said colonization brought over disease and consuming animals. Well, yes, and I would just wrap that and say, consuming animals is the disease, right? Because the disease doesn't just magically appear like the boogeyman That's what I've been trying to wake people up to during this whole thing going on that I refuse to call by name. Not only because YouTube will hear me, the algorithm's listening. They do hear everything, all the words I say in the channel. They can actually filter through it with AI. But let's get back to the topic we were talking about. The real topic is baking cookies, but now we're talking about colonization and disease. So yeah, what is the disease? The colonization, when I learned about that growing up, like I learned that, you know, settlers came over, they brought certain diseases that didn't exist before. I didn't understand what that really meant. Because a lot of people understand do you consider hominy natural? Carrie, thank you for asking questions. I appreciate them and the interaction. I don't think it is, but, you know, blow my mind. if as far as I know, no. But if it's originally made out of maize, then maybe. See, there's a lot of recipes that could be natural, that could easily be made with non-hybrid natural, which when I say natural, I mean not hybrid. That's my definition of natural, but I know that, you know, the rest of the society uses the word natural in a different way than I use it. They think spinach is natural, or just because it has roots and it grows. Well, that's part of the story, but we're not getting the whole story. And the reason we're not getting the whole story is because it's a new, you know, I'm from a new country, and a lot of the information is manipulated, which, you know, that's why this channel exists. Otherwise, we would all be eating spelt anyway. And if wheat wasn't hybridized, then there'd be no problem. There'd be no need for people to go gluten-free. And which I make fun of it lightly, just because I tried going gluten-free about 5 years ago. Did it work? No. I mean, it might have some little result for someone, but it's one of those fads. It's not, why is it a fad? Why do I call it a fad? Well, it's not the real solution. That's why. It's marketing. And yes, I'm a marketer. So, but I'm marketing natural, non-hybrid. I mean, I'm not even selling it, but I want to. I would. That's what I think is ethical, at least, to talk about. If I'm selling anything, I guess it's information. But, you know, I'm not really hard selling anything on this channel. I'm just selling watch time, I suppose. That my channel is not really monetized at this point, but in the future, I hope it is. It would be nice, you know, and I'm not ashamed of earning money if I can do it while staying ethical and alkaline. Then that's success to me, even if it's not boatloads of cash. Like if I was selling pharmaceuticals or something, I would be, you know, have much more liquid cash on hand, but I wouldn't feel bad because I know better, and I would be violating what I know to be right. And there's not that many people. I studied ethics in university, so there's not that many people doing anything ethical in the pop culture, but I know there are good people still. So let's all get together and unite. Is monk fruit, someone asked the simple things. Hello, and thank you for watching. Thank you for asking. Is monk fruit sweetener natural? no, I would not consume it without further investigation. And as far as I know, no. I've looked that up maybe a year ago, and I think maybe there's even another name for monk fruit that is something more common, but I would not use it personally. The only sweeteners that I would use: date sugar, date syrup, agave syrup, or agave nectar, whatever you call it. It's the same thing, really. There's dark and light. Agave, I would eat both. The amber agave is a little bit of a richer flavor. The light agave is more of more similar to white sugar. So if you're doing a sugar replacement, just the light agave would be the best, but dark agave would be fine. It's exceptional, actually, I think. So yeah, there's a lot of question. There's a lot of sweets on this channel. Someone in the last live was commenting about how I'm a sweet holic or sugar holic, which no, not cane sugar. No cane, no way. Cane is super acid, toxic, and if I would eat some, I would feel nasty within a few minutes. That's why I don't do it. It's not that I'm not eating sugar just to be, elitist or whatever. What's the word I'm looking for? Pretentious. That's what people think about vegans. People might think that about me. I don't care. Go away to them. Because if you know my story, I had to change. It wasn't really a choice, although eventually I had to make the decision. And it was a clear and easy decision once I had the right information. That's why I'm giving information on this channel, is because if you have the right information, it's easy to make a decision, an informed decision. It's when you don't have all the information, when blunders and potentially toxic mistakes can be made, when you're only operating with half the info or even less info. And that's what we're dealing with in this world. And it always comes around to that some way or another, about the information age that we're living in. And most people spend their time on entertainment. And I spend my time on education. So that's what separates us, I think, people like us, is that we want more info to make a better decision. Your decision is only as good as the information that you have. So, and some mistakes, it's okay, but mistakes with your health, that's not okay. That's something that is not worth the risk. Now, business mistakes happen. I make experiments all the time. Not with my health, not with my body. Someone asked a question. Organic Life said, how long have you been plant-based and alkaline? Awesome question. I first went vegetarian over 10 years ago now. Wow. And that's a little bit of a long story, but basically the short version of that, the reason I went vegetarian, it was very natural decision. It was like a hindsight decision that I went vegetarian, and then I look back and go, oh, I went vegetarian. So it was kind of weird the way that it happened. I was living in Japan. Wow, I'm looking back in the past now, but this was a while ago, over 10 years ago. And was this like pushing 15 years ago, actually. Amazing that it's been that long. But when I was younger, even though I'm still young, when I was even younger, I lived in Japan. And then after that, I visited a couple times. You know, once or twice or three times. I can't remember exactly. Probably two or three times after I wasn't living there anymore. And that last time I was there, I don't know if it was the last time I was there, but anyway, for the story's sake, I was in Japan again, and I used to get jet lagged, just hammered. Not on the way there, but maybe on the way back. So when I came back from Japan, I felt like garbage. I use that word a lot in my channel. I felt toxic. At the time, I didn't know about alkaline or anything, pH at all. And someone asked last time to talk about pH, what does it even mean? So remind me, and I'll do that in a minute. I saw a couple more questions come in, but I want to finish what I'm saying before I go on any tangents. So after I got back from Japan, I can distinctly remember feeling just internally not like meat, not like eating meat, like ugh. From the travel, I just was eating vegetables only. And then after a week went by, I realized what was happening. And I realized, oh, I didn't eat meat? And it blew my mind, honestly. This is way back, I was like 20 years old or something like that. So at that time, I must have still been brainwashed about you need protein BS, which is nonsense. Now I know that your body makes protein. Oh man, what a scam. What a scam. All those protein shakes and everything, I've fallen prey to that. I'm a martial artist. I've been a martial artist for most of my life. I started when I was 8 years old, or I started even before wrestling when I was 5, believe it or not. And so I've been in the whole try to bulk up phase and the protein and everything. Not even a phase. That was years and years that I was doing that. Not good, toxic. The only protein you would want is hemp protein. So it's not, and I wouldn't even, the reason I would take it is not for the protein, it's for the iron. Hemp protein, if you buy it in a store, it's basically ground up hemp seed shells. And it's got tons of iron in it. That's what gives you energy. Your body makes its own protein. But anyway, most people are eating toxic garbage and feeling inflammation because of it. So let's get to some of these other questions. Okay, so yeah, that's the long story of going vegetarian. And then I went vegan about 3 years ago, and alkaline very soon after. Good day. Hello, Z-Boy 83. Good to see you again. I like to see the same people tuning in. I appreciate that. Okay, so what have we got here? Some more questions rolling in. Wow, and if you're just tuning in, we're waiting for the cookie dough to set in the refrigerator. So we'll finish making the cookies shortly. And let's see, someone said, let me bring this a little closer. I've got my iPad here to show me the questions. Okay. All right, let's see. Someone said, love your channel. Oh, thank you. I'm so thankful when you appreciate or compliment the channel. I get so I'm gonna almost cry just from one positive comment. And the reason why that I'm so appreciative, I think, is that This channel is 5 years old, and at the very beginning, people were so rude to me. People were such jerks, and it was, I think, mostly people I know, but that's why I appreciate it so much that there are so many new subscribers recently, and that there are so many good questions and so many positive comments. Yeah, every once in a while I have to block someone behind the scenes for just being a total jerk, but it's 99.9% positive comments, and I love it. And I'm so happy about that. That lets me know that I'm on the right track. Because I'm always analyzing myself and what I'm doing, trying to make it better, better, better. And so I'm too fanatical about that for a lot of people. But if I am alive tomorrow, I'm going to be trying to do a better job than today. And you know, it's not a fanatical thing that makes me a grumpy jerk or anything. I still enjoy life. I still stop and smell the roses. I still go for walks in the woods and go mushroom hunting. Check out my other videos on mushroom hunting. The other day I was hanging out with a deer in the woods, and we were just standing there for maybe 5 or 10 minutes just looking at each other. And animals can smell that I don't eat meat. And they can actually tell that people who are safe and friendly by their scent. And I can tell too. I can tell people that eat meat. Sometimes they stink. Shh. Sometimes they smell like sausage or something left over. Anyway, I'm trying to be kind here. Okay, good. More comments rolling in. Thank you. So you said that love your channel, and I got so distracted. Thank you so much, Ella Rain. You are awesome. I really appreciate that. What do you think about baking soda for making alkaline bread? Do you consume it? Good question. I don't consume baking soda. I was talking about that earlier for brushing your teeth. I don't brush my teeth with it, but maybe I would, but I wouldn't eat it personally. And you know, the ingredients we use to bake bread are alkaline. So I have like 8 or 9 bread videos, and they're so if you want some baking bread videos, I have several. They were really popular. At one point, my bread video was the most popular video. I think I hear the cookies being done. Are those ready for the next step? No? Okay, false alarm. Okay, what was that? I was getting to the last couple questions. This is live, so you're getting an interesting show. I would usually cut. If I'm gonna just move the camera, I would usually make a cut. All right, what do you think about baking soda? Okay, nope, no baking soda. And someone said, LivoJJ98 said, how do you heal from genetic chronic hemorrhoid? Are you misspelling hemorrhoid, or is that a different word that I don't know? Or is that a misspelling of, or is that the correct spelling of hemorrhoid even? I'm not sure if I could spell hemorrhoid off the top of my head. As far as I know about hemorrhoids, if that's your question, actually, if you're still tuned in, they're from some kind of constipation and some kind of blood vessel, like almost bursting, or like pushing through where they're supposed to be, and it causes a ton of pain. So this can be, okay, yes, that's what you're talking about. I think you might want to, well, first of all, I bet that pop culture would say, here, buy this toxic chemical to rub all over it. So my first guess, and I haven't looked this up specifically, but just from everything else that I know, I would guess to not use whatever over-the-counter they're trying to, or prescription that would be what I wouldn't do. However, I want to say, since I just said the word prescription, now I have to give a legal disclaimer that I'm not a medical doctor, so I can't give specific medical advice. None of this is medical advice, by the way. None of this is medical advice. This is I'm just sharing information with you. It's up to you and your doctor to figure the rest out. But I would say I would say upgrade your doctor, though, to a lot of people. That way, they're the one that has to give the legal binding advice. So I would I think it would be a lifestyle change for the hemorrhoids. Detoxing. Oh, you tried detoxing already? Well, what did you try to detox, though? Because, I tried a lot of things, and a lot of them didn't work. So maybe you could try again in a better way, depending on what you did to detox. And also, I think maybe some lifestyle changes would be in order. There must be something wrong, because that doesn't just happen magically by itself. So if it's some kind of inflammation or pain, then something caused it unnatural, usually. Okay. So you said you used Dr. Sebi and Dr. Moore's full protocol and didn't eat animal products. Excellent. Well, your other organs are thanking you for that. Someone said, Cece said, for hemorrhoids, go raw for 10 days and you'll see a big change. Well, from what they're saying, they already tried farther than just going raw. If they were fasting and doing the whole detox protocol. But then again, I would have to talk to you to learn more. Your father passed it down. Well, yeah. I mean, some of that is lifestyle. Your father also passed his lifestyle down to you to some degree. So I'm not sure from this information that I have so far, it seems like you're on the right track, but if it didn't work, then maybe you didn't, no one ever wants to admit that they didn't do it right, but maybe you didn't do it right. I don't want to just tell you that you're wrong or whatever, but if that didn't work, then I'm very curious to dig more and to ask more detailed questions about what exactly you did and how long you did it and such and such, and what you've been doing since then. So you could reach out to me if you want one-on-one, but I'm going to move on to the next question. Let's see here. Good day, Doug. Hello. Great story. Oh, thank you. I have a lot of interesting stories, actually, that I want to document some of them. I appreciate your channel. Oh, thank you so much, Z-Boy. I appreciate you for tuning in. This wouldn't exist without you tuning in. This would just be me sitting in front of the fire talking. So what really makes this special is you. And I appreciate you and your questions because, a lot of times I don't know what you want to know. So asking questions is helpful, and it's a give and take. That's why I think it feels so good, is because we have some kind of a give and take going on. Okay, let's see here. Someone said, you have one of the best channels, F the haters. Oh, thank you so much. I totally agree with you. I think this is one of the best channels. Actually, you're right. I mean, I wouldn't be spending so much time on it if I thought it was a waste and, you know, it wouldn't enter my schedule. So the reason I'm spending so much time on it is because I think this is the future. If we don't do something, I mean, I did it myself personally. I know a lot of you have shifted over already. But if we as a collective, as a society, don't shift, it's just going to be downhill from here. And I think it's been going downhill since like right around when I was born, or maybe a little before. So, you know, we took the life expectancy up, but then it starts going down, and I wonder why. Fast food, everything I see outside the walls, you know, inside these walls, it's all healthy, but you know, when I venture into the world, into the other world, then I see that one of the first things I see right nearby is a Starbucks, and there's a line going around the block every day at Starbucks. And I live in a really nice area, thankfully, and it's mind-boggling that people are really doing that. Here, throw my money in the toilet. That's what I think about Starbucks. I mean, it's a good company as far as a business perspective. All right, which herbs should you take while fasting? That is the million-dollar question, isn't it? As many of them as you can. Well, I don't want to say that and exaggerate, but there's a lot that you could take while you're fasting that, let's see, I'll just throw some out off the top of my head. Nopal, cactus, and sea moss both expand and help in your stomach and help to deter hunger, suppress hunger, that's the word I was looking for. So those are two that are good. Stinging nettle has, you know, is one of the healthiest foods in the world. Bladderwrack is one of the best in the world, highest concentration of iodine, which your body needs, your cells need that, and that's what, you know, I think most people feel when they shift over to this way, is they feel the seaweed and the mushrooms and all the power, and it can be really, man, I want to say too, that for those of you that didn't see my last live on baking the brownies, by the way, the cookies should be done any minute here to take them out and make them. But the last one we did about the brownies, wow. I finished the pan today, finally. It was a few days ago. And the mushroom powder, the medicinal mushroom powder mix I put in there instead of cocoa powder. Man, that's my own formulation. And I was selling that before, and I took my store down just because I'm focusing on this more. But I might put that back up. Actually, a lot of people have been asking me for herbs and tea and stuff like that. So I had supplements and everything, but it was just not I just don't have the facilities and stuff to do that on a large scale or anything. So it was just like a little hobby almost, and I want to scale that up in the future, but until then, gotta put it on the back burner. But I do have, if you're one of my one-on-one clients, I can get you some of that mushroom powder, and it is, wow. I put it in the brownies, and they just gave me rocket fuel. Like, I ate one little, and I cut them into tiny squares, honestly. I didn't make them very big each. So they were maybe, a little bigger than like a silver dollar. Just, I mean, because of the walnuts, because of the oil, because of those medicinal mushroom powders, that just gave me so much energy. If you have fatigue, or if you're sluggish and don't have any energy, man, you could eat 1 or 2 of those brownies, and there's nothing illegal in them. They're not that kind of. But I do want to say that they kind of did get me high. They gave me so much energy that I felt like cranked, almost like a few shots of espresso, but not the jitters, just like the healthy, like a more toned down, like smooth, healthier feeling of just being turned up from those brownies. So after eating the whole pan of them almost, I didn't eat them all myself, but those were great, and I recommend them to anyone who needs energy. I'm going to make another pan of brownies soon, but this time instead of walnuts, I'm going to put caramel swirls. Oh man, I feel like a child now when I think about that. It makes me giddy, like it's my birthday. Okay, we've got some more comments coming in. Okay, someone commented on the hemorrhoids issue, and thank you for helping each other out. And you know, I think we have the smartest people on YouTube are tuning in here because these are some great questions. And you know, I've been around, I've lived in other countries, I've met thousands of people, and you know, most people aren't that smart. Shh, don't tell them I said that. But that's putting it kindly, by the way. I could say it another way. But the viewers on this channel are really impressing me with the quality of questions and everything. You guys are awesome. And I think we've got a great collective going on. I think this is a really good group of people. I'm really excited for the future of the channel, but I'm thankful as it is as well. Let's see. Someone said it could be the toilet paper. You know, let me see if they said this. Okay, they didn't say this, but in toilet paper, there are toxic chemicals. I think that's what they were alluding to. Organic Life, thank you for helping out and helping me answer. I appreciate that. So yeah, there are chemicals in the products. I've been ranting and ranting and ranting almost every video that these products are toxic. The conspiracy comes in when you start wondering, do they know? Do they know? And they're selling it to you anyway? That means they're trying to kill you. And I don't take that very lightly. I don't throw that around. I think boycott, boycott, boycott. These, I mean, I'm not for like overly government intervention or anything, but we as individuals need to boycott these evil companies. Why are they putting chemicals on something that you're gonna wipe on your very sensitive body parts? You know, if you think about that body part that we're talking about right now, that's a very sensitive body part, and as if you factor in all the parts of your body, that's one of the places on your body that is very absorbent, has a lot of nerve endings. One of the, you know, interesting fun fact, depending on if you're a man or woman, there are that's the most sensitive area of your entire body. And then these companies are selling you something with chemicals in it to rub on that spot. No! Ah! That's my reaction. That's how I react. Just wanted to give you a little window into my mind. All right, let's see. Someone said they want to begin another detox before trying to conceive. Wow, bless you. That is a great idea. And if only every parent thought about that. If only every person was healthy before they conceived. I learned about this in Korea from one of the only people I found while I was sick that was actually helping me. And they said, and this is all translated, they weren't speaking English, but they said especially the man should not drink alcohol when you're trying to conceive children, because if the sperm gets drunk, actually, like the alcohol is absorbed. I mean, come on, people, let's use our brains here. You put something in your mouth, where's it gonna go? Is it gonna magically disappear? No, it's in your body. And I'm not frustrated at you. I know that you people viewing are already keyed into this stuff, but to the public, I just see what people eat and drink, and it scares me about what's the future. It's up to us to create better generations, and that's awesome that you're actually thinking about that. Amazing, amazing. Someone said, good point, there might be no genetic diseases as parents pass their food and likely lifestyle. Yeah. When we change, we become outcast with no disease. This is exactly what I'm trying to get people to think. Yes. Yes. That is definitely, there is no disease. And I know that the government agencies would flip out if they heard something like that. Oh no, how are they going to sell vaccines? Oh no, they're going to lose billions of dollars. Kill that guy for saying that. When billions of dollars are on the line, people get touchy. So someone said, how much for the rocket fuel? I'll buy whatever you're selling. Oh, that's nice. Well, I wish I was like actively selling it then. That's music to my ears. But yeah, I have to keep it pretty small at this point. So it's not like I don't get excited because of if I start promoting it and then like a bunch of people end up flooding me with wanting it, then I'm gonna immediately be sold out, and it's gonna so if I had, an investment, which I'm working on some stuff actually that I've been saying that I'm gonna announce in the live, and I should announce it because I've been telling you that I'm going to announce it soon. So I'm announcing it right now. We've been 60 minutes into this video though. Are these, I don't know what's going on with these. Let me check this. And I know this is live, you're going to have to just see what's going on. Taking you on a small adventure. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. These are definitely done, but basically what happened is that, yeah, I don't know what happened. I was my wife was making these and I was filming it, and now she's working. So I'm not sure what I'm not sure where the plan went wrong, why they didn't get the next step done. So I don't think she's going to be done for another maybe 4 hours. And before I rant and rave about it, I don't know what happened, so I'll just give the benefit of the doubt and assume that it's fine. And just let it happen. Okay, sometimes I get very intense about, especially about these videos, and maybe it doesn't come across in them, but I'm a perfectionist, and usually I have to release them without them being totally perfect, because you can't spend your whole life on one 10-minute video. So although I'm a perfectionist, there's a time where you have to say, okay, time limit for whatever this project is. Any more work on it would just be, So I'm not sure exactly what. So Cece said, no worries, thank you. I might have to finish these later, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to do it live, if it'll be a second video, or if I can. I think when I go to end the live, it asks me, do you want to end the video or do you want to just pause it and resume it later? So honestly, I haven't tried pausing it and resuming it later yet. So I'm not sure if it'll cut off the stream. But if you have tuned in thus far, then I will try to keep the stream up, and I will resume it when the cookie dough is ready to be made into shapes and jam and whatever needs to be added, and then they're going to be baked. And that's probably only going to take 10 minutes to bake them, maybe 12. Later on, once they're done, I'll do a taste test on the camera live, I hope, today. That's my plan. And until then, I'll just try to keep it up. And then later on, I'll just edit. If you want to see a shortened recipe video of this and or of the brownies, I can edit those. Those are in the works maybe already, actually. The brownie one, I think, is already in the works. So I can edit this down because it's, from right now, it's an hour and 10 minutes long already. And the first part of making the cookie dough only took maybe, 5 or 10 minutes? And I've been just doing Q&A the rest of the time. So before I tune out, let me check to make sure that no more questions came in. If you keep asking, oh no! Well, you just missed that. The iPad and tripod just toppled over. But, so let me check this really quick. Oh! It's live. All right. Oh, look at that. There's two of me. Here's the iPad monitor that I'm viewing. Yeah, this toppled over. Gee, thanks a lot. Tripod. Okay, let's see. Okay, so there are some of you still tuned in. Thank you so much for watching. Yeah, I'll stay on if you want to ask more questions. And you asked me how much the rocket fuel is. You're talking about the mushroom powder that I mentioned, right? Well, I was selling that in the capsule form, and it was a little expensive. Those are actually a little pricey compared to um, a little pricey compared to sea moss or maybe like nettle or something like that, but still doable. And so I would have to reprice it if you just want the powder, the loose powder that you can scoop out and like make hot chocolate or hot chocolate. I have to do air quotes. And so those are the two ways that I've used that. Also, I take it as capsules sometimes, but you know, baked in the brownies was fantastic. I used about 1/4 of a cup, but I didn't pack it down at all. I just very loosely scooped it, so it wasn't like a packed 1/4 of a cup. It was very fluffy and light, so it wasn't that much. The recipe, could you please send us, Cece just asked, could you please send us the recipe for the cookies? I will, if you join my group, I post stuff in there. I have free groups, and I also have the group for my one-on-one clients, that's secret. So I post more stuff in there. But the free groups, there's so much already posted in there even already that is a wealth of information. And there's a link to that somewhere on my channel, either in the description of this video or on my channel homepage. There are links in the top corner. And I do have 2 different free groups. One of them's called Bioelectric Awakening, and that one was originally for people who have no idea what I'm talking about and just want to discover more. And then there's another group that's free that's called Bioelectric Challenge. And that one is for people who are more ready to take the challenge. And I was doing basically like a free 7-day challenge in there for people who might want to, become my client in the future one-on-one or just want more info. It's free. There's, it's just something nice in addition to this channel. But I think the most information is on this YouTube channel. So I'll post it in the groups, and if you want to follow up with me, join those groups so that you can, if you post in there any question anytime, then I'll see it and I'll be able to answer you, and more people will be able to see the answer too. So someone said, to answer your question, Z-Boy, about the mushroom powder, the capsules were around, I think they were like $70, but that was for a big bottle. But then I was offering them a discount, but if it was just the powder and not capsulated, it would be much lower price, because that's much easier and less to produce it. All right. Let's see. Announcements, please. Could you please? Okay. I'm on social media. Doug, how can I get info from your group? Search Facebook, Bioelectric, or the Alkaline Life Coach, or search for the Bioelectric Challenge. There's so many ways to find it that it's maybe too many. I have so many Facebook pages and stuff over the years that it's overwhelming. But the one that I will respond to the fastest would be in the group Bioelectric Challenge or on my Alkaline Life Coach Facebook page. All right. Oh, you're ready for the Alkaline Challenge? Awesome. Yeah, reach out to me. And if you want to purchase any herbs or anything like that, the reason I never mention it is because I don't want people to think, for one reason is I don't want people to think that I'm just trying to like sell stuff physical stuff. I'm more interested in information. But I do have a lot of this physical stuff on hand for myself, for my family, and for my small handful of clients that I have at any given time. And if you want a one-on-one consultation with me on the phone for free, there's a link at the bottom of all my videos at the description. It says, need help now, Alkaline Life program or something, and there's a link. Then you can schedule a phone call. But only do that if you're serious about it, because I'm very strict with my time. Even though I do spend hours going live, this is one of the things that I am focused on, so it's okay. But anything else is a waste. All right, so I think I'm gonna wrap it up unless you have more questions, because I think we're gonna be waiting forever for her to finish so that we can finish the cookies. And I didn't realize that this would happen. I thought we had it planned out well. I knew that there'd be a break when we take the, there's 2 steps next. We have to take the cookies out of the fridge, the cookie dough, and make them into shapes, and also we have to do something after that, and then to get the jam and filling it. So these are a couple more steps. We have another cookie video already. If you're dying for cookies, we have several cookie videos, actually. We have one that are apple jam cookies. We have one maybe that are, we have a Milano cookie that are a DIY version of the Pepperidge Farm little like thin sandwiches. That's one of my more popular videos. We have another caramel filled cookie video. So we have at least 3 cookie videos already. And this one is a new recipe. We haven't done this before. So it's not redundant. It's going to be a new type of cookie. Of course, can't eat the same old boring cookie. Well, I mean, when you have a cooking channel, you can't, I'm pressured to not eat the same thing. I feel like I need to keep pumping stuff out. I want to get to 100 recipe videos. Right now we're on 58, I think. This video is number 58. So once I get to 100 recipe videos, wow, there'll be plenty of food, alkaline food. No one will have any excuse of not knowing what to eat. And then I can focus more, because I have a lot of other videos. I want to do some more stretching videos. I do have a stretching video already, but stretching is really one of the important parts of my program. And I know everyone is feeling a lot of inflammation these days from stress and their bad diet. Even if they have a good diet, there's stress, sleeping in weird positions, bad posture, you name it. All right, so someone said they want the announcements. And since there are people still watching, and if you haven't thumbs up yet, please do. This is what I'm sitting next to, by the way. I've got stuff everywhere. Got this giant mushroom. This is like more than a foot long. I found this in one of the foraging adventures I went on. I'm sure I got it on video. I'm definitely sure it's on video. So, but so the announcements, I'm just stalling until I see your thumbs ups coming in. All right, so here are the announcements everyone's been waiting for. Well, I guess only one person has been waiting for. Thank you for anticipating. So, the one thing is, well, the one thing was that I'm writing a book, but I already kind of announced that on my Facebook page, or on my, I don't even know if I told my Facebook group about that yet. I'm writing a book. It's not specifically about food or anything. It's about something. This is, all right. I'll formally announce this later, but I've got something planned that I have some video footage of actually already, but I don't have the ending. I don't have the ending of the beginning. So I have the beginning of something that we're working on that I am invested in. And it's basically, well, let me just say that I invested in a farm, but there's a lot of interesting things going on with it. So I'm not there physically, is the one most interesting thing. I'll announce where it is in another video. If I can get, when I hit a milestone, if I get 100 likes on my video, I'll announce. I haven't even gotten close to that yet though, so maybe I should say, oh yeah, actually some of my videos have 100 likes. I'll announce more details of that soon, but here's the announcement that really is probably what you're wanting to hear, that I'm interested in, is that I'm working on a nonprofit organization, and the goal of it is to feed people alkaline food. So that is a big announcement, actually. It's going to be in more than one location, ideally, eventually. And I already know two places that I'm trying to start. And I was already working on this before this nonsense happened, but now it's even more important. And because the whatever they're saying is science in the news or the pop culture is not real at all. It's embarrassing and shockingly fake and shockingly wrong to me. But anyway, a way that I think I can help the world the most, not just by cooking and showing that somebody cooked it, but actually feeding it to the people that need it. And if I can actually see them eating it, then I know they got it. I know that, if I just tell someone, recommend something, I don't know what they're gonna do. If I can actually hand them something, that makes me feel better. That's a level up. And then if they actually had a result, that's the whole point. The whole point is the end result. I'm already healthy, thankfully. It wasn't easy, but I don't need this info necessarily for myself. Something might happen when, I'm still leveling up anyway, and I'm gonna do that anyway with or without anyone here watching. I was doing this way before I had a channel. Like, I was into personal development and all that. I was a fanatic and I was a researcher always, and was always a scientific, analytic thinker. And I studied philosophy and psychology and all that. So I'm still really on the same path I was always on. It's just I had to become healthy to actually help people. But what I really want to do is to build or open or take over, whichever comes first, an orphanage. And it's going to be the place where the healthy people are going to be at. I mean, you're not going to find any artificial crap or toxic chemicals there or bad influences or any. It's going to be, and you know, I know some people look at this different ways. Like when I was younger, maybe I would have thought it's too strict, or some people think moderation and everything. Oh, that's too extreme or something. No, it isn't. Here's why. Here's why it's not extreme. The alkaline lifestyle, or whatever you want to call it, the alkaline or bioelectric challenge is what I was calling it. Here's why it's not extreme. It's the original way. What we're doing now is extreme. McDonald's is extreme. That's extreme. Think about that, how extreme that is. A network of thousands or tens of thousands of restaurants that are all, trucks are taking the food just to there. They have their own special everything. They serve billions of hamburgers pumped out that are made out of soy, and like, ugh. Soy is just as gross as meat in some ways. From a health point of view, soy is no good, but they're mixing it in with the meat. For the people who like meat, they think they're getting gypped. For the people that want to cut the unhealthy out of meat and think that soy is an improvement, it's all just wrong. But that's so extreme, the situation we're in, and we have to, it appears to be extreme just to be natural. You know, it appears to be fanatical just to be a vegan or just to go back to what people used to eat. And I was thinking of this recently. What about Noah from the Bible that supposedly lived 800 years, I think? I'm going to have to do more research on that, but I used to just kind of write that off as being ridiculous and fake or a lie or whatever, maybe translated wrong or something. I mean, sometimes I give it the benefit of the doubt, but now I think, well, I don't just think. I have a gut feeling, a knowing. It's more like I know that we're immortal. And I'm going to take a dramatic pause to let that sink in. Let that sink in. We're immortal? Does your subconscious mind reject it as being not true right away? Or does your higher mind think, wait a minute, why do we die? Why do we die? Lobsters are immortal. They can only be killed. They don't die of natural causes. I learned that a few years ago, and now I'm starting to think trees are another thing. Some trees are immortal. They can only be killed. They don't die naturally. So think about this. Why are the companies filling our toilet paper and everything else with toxic chemicals? Even in the clothing. Why are people wearing artificial clothing? Why are we wearing clothing at all? Why are we spraying our body with chemicals? Why are we rubbing petrochemicals all over our skin? Why are we rubbing toxic dandruff shampoo to try to combat a skin problem? And it doesn't work. Why are we, you know how many, I'm just saying from personal experience, like back I haven't used regular shampoo in years, but back in the day, you know, when I was growing up, I used to use dandruff shampoo because that's what somebody bought, and it made it worse, definitely. Looking back, I can tell it definitely made it worse. All those years that I used it, it never did any benefit. It was definitely hurting me, and your brain is right there. Look how close the hair and the brain. What's separating it? Skin and a skull? That stuff is absorbent. I'm not gonna rub any chemicals on my skin. Get away from me with that. And people trying to sell it to you, you know, cosmetics, and I know about this, I'm starting to head into a rant here. I can feel it coming on. The cosmetics, I've looked into making cosmetics because it's a good cash cow for a business. And here's what these companies do. They put 1% hemp oil, fill the 99% with chemicals, additives, fragrances, to keep it a certain texture or color, and then you're rubbing it all over your body. Well, not you, but someone else. Some unsuspecting, poor, ignorant person, like I used to be, even though, you know, I have a high IQ, so if they can brainwash me, then they can brainwash anyone else too. We have to be on guard for our mind. Not just our body, but also our mind. Okay, so some of you are commenting. Awesome. Let me see here. Oh, so you said you're not on social media. How can I get info from your groups? Ah, yeah. Well, this is the best. I mean, this is probably better than that group because I used to be going live in that group. Now I'm going live here. So you're in a good place. If you're not on other social media, don't worry about it. YouTube is fine. If you want to reach out one-on-one, you can get consulting from me, but that's, you know, not for everyone. So I don't know if that's what you need or want. Let's see. You substituted soaked Brazil nut for baby banana in the eggnog recipe. Oh, okay. So instead of soaking Brazil nuts, you put baby banana. Interesting. Ooh, level up. You leveled it up, didn't you? Honestly, I wasn't so happy with my eggnog recipe. That's why I didn't post it. So maybe that's thank you. I'll give you credit for helping out with that. Ooh, I didn't even think of that. Good one. So did you still put those spices in? That's interesting. That's interesting. Oh my, I forgot that I left some tea over here. I've been talking for 90 minutes nonstop. Great, alkaline eggnog addict now. So I'm probably gonna try to make that today. Even right now. Might as well even do it live. Because I'm really hungry. I was expecting cookies by now. Honestly, they would be done by now. I think we missed the cutoff time before she started working. No, I didn't eat today and it's 2:30, which is pretty typical. But when I do a 90-minute talk nonstop with no one talking back, a one-sided conversation, it does sap some of my energy, so I have to sarsaparilla up. There's you can see it's starting to turn like a reddish brown. This was silver, but the sarsaparilla since I drink it nonstop. Oh wow. So ZBoy83 said, that's awesome, Doug. That's great news. How can I contribute? Well, you're awesome for even asking. Wow, I didn't even think about that. I probably should have been announcing it, and maybe this is the way that I can actually get it accomplished, is with your contributions. My first idea was to start the 501c3, which is a $600 form that you have to send in. And I was working on building a board of directors. I built a board of directors, yet I don't know if it fell apart or what, or if they're not the right people. So I'm still kind of looking to replace some key positions that I need to fill. And it's not, for a nonprofit, for the accountant and lawyer, that's just free work that they have to do. So that's not really, no one's looking forward to doing that. It just has to get done. So I hit a roadblock with that several months ago, and instead of giving up, I focused in on this channel because, and I invested also in something that I'll finish announcing that when I have more video footage, because I want to actually show you. I want to announce it, and then I want to show you footage of what's going on, because basically we're preparing. And I think a couple of maybe if my one-on-one clients or someone who reached out to me for a consult, I did tell someone about this. So there are maybe less than 5 people that know about this in the world, almost, maybe less than 10. So it's pretty on the down low right now. I don't like making announcements until after I've already completed something, because, well, this is a very good lesson in success and business. And that's what, my videos used to be about. Don't tell people your plans, because they'll either try to hijack it, sabotage it, crap all over it, cheat you out of something, or who knows what. And like clockwork. And I'm not saying that like there's a slim possibility it might happen. I'm saying it as in it's almost guaranteed to happen. Because people are like big babies. People are like children. You'd be surprised in the business community. So Z-Boy said Noah lived to be 950. He must have been alkaline. Absolutely, definitely. The only way to live that long would be to be alkaline. That is the way to live that long. And I read about this. I mentioned this in some of my videos, but it might be buried in there. But I mentioned this a few times. One of the books I read, I think it was Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. He was a plastic surgeon, but he wrote a book about personal development, or actually self-image psychology, because he noticed when doing plastic surgery for 25 years, some people would have drastic changes, and mentally they would have a varying degree of change. So he noticed a separation between what you actually look like and your self-image. And there was already some research about this at that time. This was back in the 60s, I think. But his book was one of the pioneering, or one of the better books about the self-image psychology. And I think he claims to have coined the idea, but I think there were plenty of people talking about something like this before. But it's interesting because he talks in that book, and since he's a surgeon, there are some very interesting things in there. especially at the end, when he finally, finally gets to his point. He's got to, get you up to speed on a lot of different concepts to finally deliver the message, which was about the fountain of youth. And I've got the book on the bookshelf over there. I could go grab it. But the fountain of youth is what this book was all about. Because that's what everybody wants. Right? What else would they want? Money? Well, what are they going to do with money? They're just going to try to find the fountain of youth after they get money. There's nothing else to do. Really, I mean, there's love, there's health. That's really all there is in real life. In real life, before all the artificial stuff is added, what do? You eat, you try to stay alive, and you try to reproduce. And, I think happiness is a cherry on top. But these are the basic things in life. But he talked about, getting back to Psycho-Cybernetics, the book, he talks about a cell. You can take a cell and put it in a vacuum. And as long as the cells get washed properly, as long as they get cleaned, they can live, in a vacuum, they're immortal, which means they don't die. What? Wait a minute. Boom. I remember reading that a few years ago, and what does that mean? That means if our cells are cleaned out, I think that's what it means, that we're essentially immortal. Yes, our skin cells die, and some of our cells die, but certain of your cells can live forever as long as they get cleaned out. And what does that mean, cleaned out? It means they need to be not toxified. So that's back to what we were talking about almost an hour ago, which is what we were originally talking about an hour ago. We've been talking about the fountain of youth, but immortality, basically, it's an interesting concept, and I don't think or talk about this all the time because I think it's too intense for a lot of people to even consider. Because for most people, they're so far on the unhealthy side of the spectrum, eating their, candy and ice cream, and it's too far of a leap. But since you've been watching for an hour already, I think maybe you're ready for a little stretch. Stretching your mind, stretching your awareness. I'm consistently trying to expand my awareness. So, next week, next year, I'm going to have more awareness than even now. And that's the way to make sure I'm not getting tricked because there's a lot of scams out there in the world. And we've got to combat them together because, I studied psychology for 15 years. I've studied mind control and marketing, how to try to get people to do something or take some kind of action, and there's a lot of mind control going on out there that people aren't aware of, and I want to wake you up to that because I've studied that and it's interesting to me, but it's also very useful because you can save a lot of time, effort, money, suffering. You can save yourself suffering, save yourself money by knowing these scams and avoiding them. And there's also a lot of psychological scams of not even about artificial foods. That's usually what I'm talking about on this channel, about how they trick you into natural and healthy, home-cooked. Healthy, natural, home-cooked artificial toxins. That's really what it looks like to me with a higher awareness. But anyway, I could go on and on. The questions stopped trickling in. I think I'm gonna call it a video because I'm gonna have to wait for these cookies anyway. But I'm gonna just pause the live stream and try to continue it later. But Z-Boy, if you are interested in helping out with the nonprofit, thank you so much even for the thought is really, thank you. But if you really do want to help, I will be taking donations in the future. Uh-oh, my phone just glitched. I will be taking donations in the future when we can legally give you a tax credit. Like in the future, hopefully, that's what the goal is that we'll be all set up with the IRS and everything that someone could donate either food or money or time, effort, whatever the donation, and we can give them a tax credit for that. But that takes months and months to set up. So that probably might be like next year or even the year after. Oh, but before then, I would still accept donations. You wouldn't get the tax write-off though. So, but, and then I could actually show you what I'm doing with it and what I spend it on and make videos. That's one cool idea. Once we get, once we get some of this stuff up and running, I want to make some really cool videos, like you know, giving back to the community, you know, feeding people alkaline food. Some of my ideas to feed it to them and get their reaction. That's one of the things that I want. I need other people, you know, I need someone else for that because I've already eaten the food. And then also getting some people to help me cook so that we can feed large groups of people or even small groups of people. Something else I've been thinking about doing is having an underground restaurant in our current place. But that's only if you live around here, which I don't think I even announced where I live. So I would have to announce where I live for that to happen, or I would have to advertise it locally. So there are a lot of facets to this plan. Actually, it's a quite in-depth plan, but the basic things, we're gonna the start of it will be just simply feeding people alkaline food and hopefully filming their reaction. That would be, you know, for more people to see and see what's going on and see some more faces on the channel because, you know, you heard what I think of it, but wouldn't it be cool to see someone who's never had it try it? I'm excited for that. I could even do some kind of challenges on this channel where, you know, I can feed you. Maybe you can win a dinner where you come over and I do the underground restaurant idea and film it. You know, you film me preparing like more of like a vlog, not like a recipe, but more of like showing for entertainment. Showing me preparing it like an underground kitchen or underground restaurant. If you don't know what that is, it's where someone pays to have like a private dining experience at my place. So they, instead of hiring me as a private chef to go to their house, which, hey, you could do if you want, I would absolutely come and cook at something. But, you know, right now we've been sabotaged by half of the government and told false things about health that aren't real. So it's unfortunately right now is a bad timing for many of the things I had planned. Another part of my plan is to have detox events where you can come fast for a week, or you could come eat like do a cleanse I don't have a place for that, but I was shopping for one. I was shopping for one for months before this happened. And that's probably what I would be doing right now, is having, each week or each month, handful of people come in. We put them through the program in person. I have the program online, digital program. But for me, yeah, that's great for you. But for me, I want to see it happening, and I want to be able to make sure, that everything's going accordingly. And it just, also, there would be a vibe. There would be like a class vibe, a group vibe. Some people learn better in a group. Some people don't. So that was another part of the plan. And I just kind of, I keep pivoting this. It's the same goal, is to get the alkalinity to the people, the bioelectricity, and the better parts of the plan are just about me witnessing it. Just because as a business person, I don't necessarily have to be the one doing it all. I can't possibly do it all myself. But I need someone's got to be there, like, someone's got to be there laying down the hammer, and that's usually my role, because I have that, whatever that is about me, that other people seem to, yeah, what is that? I don't cut corners. I think that's kind of what I'm trying to say, is that I wouldn't as soon as I find out I'm doing something wrong, I do my best to change it. And I think other people don't really live like that. I think they are emotional and guilty feeling and too wrapped up in that kind of thing to actually make a change in their life. But I'm like, I allow myself to enjoy, don't get me wrong, but I also am strict, disciplinarian. I mix fun in with it too, because that's part of it. Mixing discipline and fun, hopefully it comes across that way in the channel. Hopefully the channel is fun, but I think everyone knows that a lot of discipline goes into eating this way or living this way in this society. 1,000 years ago, no problem. That's the natural way everyone's eating. But nowadays, people label you as a weirdo or a vegan, or the media. Why do they do that anyway? Well, corn is a big business. Meat is a big business. Sugar is a big business. Just like cigarettes are a big business. Just like guns are a big business. Cigarettes, sugar, alcohol. It's just unethical business practices as far as I'm concerned. But, what can we do about that? We can create the economy of the future. We can make the world a better place. How? First by improving ourselves, then our family, then maybe our friends, if we're lucky, and then the community. But that is a community. Yourself, your family, your friends, that's a community. So we've got a community growing on here. And it's growing more and more these days. I appreciate that a lot. So the whole point of this is to make the world a better place, but not like other people talk about made up stuff that isn't real. And I'm not even going to say what I'm talking about, because then some of you might not get it. But fake science and other stuff out there, disinformation, we have to really make the world a better place. What does that even mean? All it means is becoming healthy deep down. Intercellular, bioelectricity, and then passing that on to the next generation. The children shouldn't even know what sugar is. They don't need to know. They shouldn't even know what alcohol is. They should know what stinging nettle is. They should know what sea moss is. But why don't they? Because it's not being pushed. It's not making billionaires. They're using seaweed as an additive in stuff. That's really... in Asia, they eat seaweed, though. That's good. Z-Boy said, I've noticed a large majority of kids these days are more physically developed than when I was younger. Male and female. Maybe due to growth hormones in meat and other stuff. Absolutely. And they talk about teenage girls didn't used to get their period so early. And the hormones are totally changing it. There are studies out there on this. Yeah, you're right. Your observation has been documented and studied. You get what you put in. Exactly. And you know, my life used to be bad in certain ways. In certain ways. I had potential, but, you know, inflammation, being sick causes mental anguish, and being physically ill caused a lot of mental problems in the past for me. And I studied 15 years psychology trying to fix that, but no, it was physical. It was you know, chemistry, biochemistry, and there is a crossover between psychology and biochemistry. You know, neuropsychology and all of that. It's physical. Our emotions are in our gut, not just in our mind. Some of them do come from up here. A lot of them come from down here. In our gut is where a lot of the hormones are made, and that's our feelings. I talk about a lot about this in my program. So I'm going to get going. I need to get some hot water for my tea, and later I'm going to finish the cookies. Thank you so much for asking so many good questions. I love my viewers. I love you. I love everyone who tunes in and asks good questions. And I'm not just saying that. You really have great feedback and great questions. And I feel a little repetitive when people comment. I usually thank them for the feedback, but honestly, the feedback is what's making the channel good. Next year, the videos are going to be even better because of all the feedback I'm getting right now. I'm getting all this feedback and I'm really taking it into account. So, you know, next year, the videos are going to be more focused on what your feedback and what you actually want to see. I don't want to spend tons of time making videos and editing them. And, you know, I like editing, but sometimes it takes 12 hours or more to edit a video. So I wouldn't do that about something that you're not going to watch. So I want to try to get more in there to exactly what people want to see. And that way we can get the message through easier without so much effort, because it's all about algorithms. You know, the thumbnail and the title is almost all the work, is what I've learned in the last 5 years. And it doesn't matter how good the video is, if the thumbnail and title aren't that good, then they fail. And, you know, a lot of my titles and thumbnails could use some work, because there are some that are rocketing and some of them that are duds. And actually, the videos are both equally as useful. But, you know, one of them has a good thumbnail and another one doesn't, and then people just, you know, it's psychology, definitely. So Z-Boy said, you, as humans, yeah, we can live longer and become stronger.
Maybe that should be my new motto. Instead of, usually I close out the video by saying, have an amazing day on purpose, because, in parentheses, because it's not just gonna randomly happen. My battery's dying, but I'm gonna wrap the video up anyway. Maybe my new ending could be, let's live longer and stronger, people. Longer and stronger. Sounds like a male enhancement commercial. Which actually, I could do videos about that. I mean, there used to be a lot of spam on the internet about growing your you-know-what. That used to be a joke back when I was a teenager, when the internet and email first got really popular, and used to get crazy emails with, take this pill and elongate your you-know-what. Well, you can do that naturally. Well, I mean, healthy way. A lot of people that can't have children but are trying to, there are herbs that can help with that. It's because of, the people watching probably already know this, but I should do a video just about that, because that might, a good thumbnail about male enhancement might get people clicking. And that's what a lot of people, the first thing they notice when they get sick. And I learned way back in psychology that the most common psychiatric disorder is erectile dysfunction. That's the #1 psychological disorder. They say it's psychological because they oftentimes can't figure out what's causing it. Well, as we know, Dr. Sebi taught us, and I've been talking about in tons of my videos, about the capillaries. Those tiny little blood vessels. There are a lot of them in the sexual organs for men and women. And I also learned a lot about this when I was studying lucid dreaming 15 years ago. Over 15 years ago. But yeah, do it. Oh man, I could make a hilarious thumbnail for that. I'll have to think of something that's just appropriate enough to slip by the YouTube censors. I also thought about either making a new channel spin-off of this, or maybe having a show where I call it the Alkaline Chef Uncensored or something like that, because sometimes I flip out about stuff and I think it could be funny later, but it's not necessarily, like as educational, so I don't know if it belongs on this channel or a different one. Anyway, let's live longer and stronger. I'm going to tweak that quote a little bit into a new slogan for the channel. Because as Alkaline, I've been looking also for a good keyword to coin the viewers, because you know how any popular leader or following has their own name. Like Christians are labeled. Even though, funny note, Christ's original followers are not Christians. Christ's followers were against the early Christians. But anyway, there's another rabbit hole that we could go down for hours. We'll do it next time. Hey, if you want any of these little things, I know I dripped a bunch of different little nuggets about different topics that I could talk about more. If you want to know about any of those, like a whole video just about those, let me know in the comments in the replay. And Z-Boy, thank you for watching all the way to the end, and whoever else is, yeah, there's a lot of people still watching. I'll give you one more chance to ask questions before I sign out. Because I think there are some new people that are just signing in that maybe didn't see anything. I was making cookies, and the the second phase, the second and third phase is not complete yet. Don't forget to give me a shout out. ZBoy83, yeah, shout out for sure. You rock. I don't know your name. I would shout you out by name, but ZBoy is good. And I appreciate you, all your comments. You already are contributing by watching and liking, and you could share. But if you want to help out with the nonprofit idea I was talking about earlier, I can give my PayPal and you could donate, and I can show you specifically what I use it for, because the reason I would want to show you exactly what I'm spending it on is because, you know, later down the line we will have an official charity registered where you will be able to write it off on your taxes. That's the goal. That way, you know, it's, hey, pay less taxes, pay it to us, and we can give alkaline food to people. Ding, 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 that sounds such, I mean, even just hearing it coming out of my own mouth, that sounds like the best idea I've ever had. The tax money, they haven't figured out what to spend the tax money on, obviously. I think I would spend it better than the government. That's my wholehearted belief. But, you know, that means that I should become the government, but oof, yeah, I'm really avoiding that. Although, sometimes I think that they need me, but I'm not willing to do it because it's too corrupt that I can't easily see it going well. I think they would just try to assassinate me immediately. If I said what I actually believe to the public, they would freak out. Oh, shout out on your social media for your slogan. Oh yeah. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Anyone that contributes anything is good. It's making the channel more dynamic and more a community. Like I keep saying, it's not just like, I don't need this info anymore. Well, I'm researching, but I don't research my own self. I'm bringing this to you to help make the world better, and, you know, one person at a time, one video at a time. If you have children, this is the stuff that you need to be teaching your children so that before they get diseased and sick, they don't have a chance to get sick and diseased. What if they just ate natural food, alkaline, from when they were born? They wouldn't even know. They wouldn't even understand what being sick was like. That would be an amazing world, wouldn't it? I don't think it's worth it to be sick just to eat sugar or drink alcohol. That's not worth it to me. That's such a low quality thrill. Sugar and drinks, that's what most people are killing themselves with. That's crazy. And meat, is it that good? Is it really good enough to die? Mind-boggling, if you think of it like that. Another channel that gets really into alkalinity, well, this is definitely the channel into alkalinity for sure. So if you want to know more in depth or more details, anything that I haven't covered, I'll do that on this channel for sure. If it's but as far as like vlogging or something like that, a few times I have recorded several vlogs and not published them. For one reason, because it takes hours and hours and hours to edit. For another reason, I don't know if anyone wants to see that, because at this point, since I have such a small following, although I appreciate everyone individually, as far as marketing and social media terms go, with just, you know, a couple thousand or 1,000 followers, I don't know if anyone will want to see a vlog. I'm not sure. If you do, tell me and I'll publish some of the ones I already recorded and I'll record more. And you know, a vlog is just, you know, hey, today I'm gonna be going to the grocery store and editing videos and consulting and whatever I'm doing that day, or if I'm going to see going mushroom hunting, I did kind of a vlog. So check those out and see if you like that format of video, or if you like this more of a question answer live. I love going live. It's easier for me, even though I spend an hour and a half talking, which takes effort. But honestly, if you think about it another way, if I was to edit this, which I probably am gonna edit it into the cookie video, when I finish the cookies and then finish tasting them, I'm gonna edit it into a shorter, probably maybe 10-minute cookies video, hopefully. Stay on the lookout for that. But that's gonna take, you know, 10 hours maybe. It's crazy sometimes. So just going live for an hour and a half, although it's hard work to give an hour and a half of speech, it's easier, or it's not easier, but it's less time consuming than editing even 5 or 10 minute video. Because the footage, to make like a 5 or 10 minute video, there might be an hour of footage. So I edit 1 hour down to 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And I couldn't even make videos. I have recorded training videos of how to edit, but I wouldn't do that on this channel because it's too unrelated and I don't want to lose subscribers at this early point, this early stage, 5 years in to the channel. I still consider this early for this channel. The first 5 years were just me figuring out how YouTube worked, which could have taken a month, but oh well. I do have other channels, if you didn't know. I don't, they're not with me. They're not me talking or anything like this, so. But I have some, I'm a musician and an artist, so that's what I used to do before when I was a child, basically. I was an artist and I'm still, I mean, I was just as good as a child as I am now, which was honestly pretty good. One thing I'm very confident about is art, actually. That's the thing that I'm confident about. It took me a long time to get confident in video and alkalinity and stuff like that. Honestly, it took me a while before I started talking about it in my videos. I was just doing it without... Thank you. Z-Boy said, everything I post on YouTube is worth watching. I would hope so. My commitment to you is that I don't want to post anything that is going to be a waste of time. Time is valuable, especially when people aren't healthy. They have even more limited amount, but I don't want to take time other than what's important to me, and I want to treat other people how I want to be treated. So I am a fan of some other YouTube channels, but not related to alkalinity or anything. I do watch other people's vlogs sometimes to get, you know, inspiration and how to film and better content. I didn't even used to know how to make a beginning, middle, and an end. It sounds so simple to me now. It is so simple. It is so simple, but the way my mind works is really complicated, I guess. And my mind is like a deep